Tick, 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 boom. Your life is like a Rubik's Cube. And I'm going to be mixing this up. Every time you meet a person, every time you walk into a room, every time you eat something, every time you go to a restaurant, every time you go to the movies, every time you watch a show, every time you scroll to a new video, every time you do anything, this is your time. Now, either you can do things where your time is wasted, or you do things where you get time back. Let me give you an example. If you go to gym, you get your time back. See how it's flowing back. But if you eat unhealthy food, you're wasting your life away. Beware, you're wasting your life away. Life is like a Rubik's Cube. But sometimes, to fix it, you need to solve one layer before you can solve the next. Sometimes, in order to solve it, all you need to do is do one layer at a time. Sometimes, the way you do that is by going one step at a time and never doing too much at once, but sometimes moving ahead, getting your blue aligned and getting your red aligned. Maybe for you that's getting your family or getting your energy levels and getting your gym under control. I remember once when I was a kid, I felt that everything in my life was failing. I didn't have a good body or physique, which I've finally improved a tiny bit, and my parents were seriously having fights every single night on the brink of divorce. But I realized if I can just get my one piece, just that one little corner, then I can get my other corner. And over time I would slowly start to build my white cross. And that's why faith was so crucial to me growing up, because it gave me that North Star, something to aim for, so that I could put that one corner piece inside of my life. And that's what led me to make videos to entertain other people and entertain you, because I have a message to share with the world. And I felt that nobody could listen and nobody cared. And slowly but surely, over time, I kept on putting more corners in and more edge pieces to the point where my entire bottom layer was solved. And you could say that that's more or less where I got to 3 months ago, when I decided that my time is running out, slowly but surely. And then I decided, well, now I have a better relationship with my parents, I respect them, and I'm getting my health under control, but let's push for some more. Let's improve something. So then I decided that I'm going to take my secondhand stuff and start to sell it. And that's when I started to get a little bit more money. But it was a very, very slow going process, and it didn't come quickly. In fact, even now, the secondhand stuff did sell, but it didn't make enough money for me to become financially free before I turned 20. So I did attempt to get a corner in, but I only covered my 2 layers at the bottom. The beginning layer was my family. The second layer was trying to make a little bit of money. But now you could say that I don't really believe money is that important. I have had a little bit. I've had enough to get a nice shirt because it has a beautiful logo. But it's not necessarily enough to change my life. So I decided I'm going to shift focus and I'm going to pursue something that is my true and deep passion. And that's chatting and sharing and entertaining. And that's where we come to the very last layer, arguably the most technical. Now, sometimes you get it right first time, and other times not. It takes an intimate knowledge of positioning and of doing things in the right way to at least get that yellow cross and align all of your final edge pieces. Because once that's sorted out, you could do anything. Time is ticking away, ticking time bomb. And doing things like this to help and inspire other people, to give them confidence and show them that I believe in you, that puts time back. Setting these 2 layers to the top of my priority list, family and becoming financially stable, put time back into my cylinder instead of taking time away. But as you keep on doing the same thing over and over and achieving no different results, you sit there disheartened and discouraged, trying the same formula over and over, but your corner pieces just won't align until you find an edge, one way that tells you that you could do it. Something that shows you that this is the way. A mentor, a friend. And then, just like that, you have 2 major pieces aligned. But then something happens in your way. And instead of putting time back in your cylinder, time gets taken away. Lost and stolen to social media, to pornography, to sites that suck away your time, to people that don't care about you and people that don't believe you, to people who take your energy so that they can just fill their own little pockets. And that's not the right way in life. Because in life, we need to figure out how to refill our cylinder. Can you see how we have lost so much time? But each and every time we do something that puts a layer in, that puts an edge piece in, a friend, a family, a relationship that we foster, soon enough, just like this, your cylinder starts to get refilled. Healthy eating, belief in God, and praising the Lord are all things that would help you to at least get that little bit closer to put in one more edge piece. But in that very instant, everything becomes a disaster. And it's important to reorientate yourself, to know that all you need to do is a simple little algorithm, and you could be right back where you started. That's life. You put in your layers, you put your edge pieces in, and sometimes what you got to do is just actually start again. But then you realize, let me reorientate myself. Instead of having my white face, instead of having money be my focus, let me make my family be my focus. And slowly but surely, you start to see a path that you can follow. And slowly but surely, you may achieve greatness, but it comes at a major cost. And that is feeling nervous, feeling anxious, feeling like you aren't doing the right thing, feeling that nothing that you do is going to ever work. And that's a very scary feeling. And I genuinely feel that. But what you guys need to understand is that sometimes it just comes down to a simple little algorithm and doing that over and over, staying with principles. And that would help you to change your life. Slowly but surely, day after day, until you've reorientated yourself and you get your cross. And maybe that for you, that's the Lord. And for other people, that might be something else. But once you continue along that path and you do your algorithm with all of your mindsets together, eventually, even though you had to reorientate yourself, you manage to solve the game of life. And instead of taking time away from things that distracted you when you didn't solve it in the right way, you go around the challenge. Or you go through it. And slowly but surely, all of this time that is wasted starts to refill. But then you come to the end of your life, where you don't really have much time left. And once you've built that, you can look around at your family, at your friends, at your achievements, and say, wow,